All right, the fourth and final argument in support of ethical egoism that we're going to examine isn't even really an argument as much as it is simply a claim. And the claim is that ethical egoism is compatible with common sense morality. And what the claim means is this, is that as we go through our daily lives and all of the interactions that we have with other people, there's a kind of perpetual negotiating going on, right? We're involved in give and take with other people. So if I'm a server in a restaurant, I know that if I make the effort to be helpful and pleasant and responsive to customers, that they're more likely to reciprocate with a tip. Or I know that if I open the door for somebody going into the grocery store, that they're likely to express some gratitude for that. And I like when people express gratitude. It's a pleasant feeling when somebody is grateful to you for some reason. Okay, so the ethical egoist is saying, look, you do unto others ultimately because if you do, they'll be more likely to do unto you. Okay, so there's this kind of, it's not purely transactional. Okay, it's just an acknowledgement that as the way that we treat others is going to ultimately, in the end, impact this in some way. And if I treat other people lousy, that's like, and I'm totally selfish, that's likely to backfire on me. But if I don't harm other people, then that means it's less likely they're going to harm me. It doesn't mean it's impossible for other people to harm me. It just means that I increase the chances of people harming me if I harm others in pursuit of my own best interest. In other words, it's kind of not in my best interest to harm other people, even if I think it is advancing my best interest to do so, because it makes it more likely that someone's going to harm me. I'm not going to lie because then people won't trust me. And if people don't trust me, that's not good. So even if lying were going to advance my own best interest in the short term, perhaps in the long term, it doesn't advance my own best interest because I've lost my reputation. I've lost my trustworthiness. Similarly, I'm going to keep my promises, even when doing so makes me suffer in the short term, doesn't advance my best interest in the short term, because it is in my best interest in the long term to have people to have trust in me and be willing to accept my promises and accept my word for something. Okay, so the argument here is that a weird kind of weak altruism, right? This putting the needs of others in certain instances above ourselves is actually not altruism at all. Instead, it's thinking about our own best interests long term. So we regard others in the ways that we would want to be regarded because we know that makes it more likely that they will regard us with similar concern. And this idea, this kind of negotiation in our relationships is oftentimes called common sense morality. It's what kids kind of figure out on their own as they're learning to play with one another, right? We've got to figure out how to negotiate these boundaries so that ultimately we all have fun.